Hello, I'm Liz, and I thought I'd talk about, well, boobs. I've been on hormones for about 3 years now, and I've decided that after about 2.5 years, I stopped growing, and I decided that, well, I want bigger boobs. Um, this is a bra, a very padded bra. Um, when I started hormones, probably like most trans women, started at what would be a double A. And after about 3 months, I went from that to an A. And shortly thereafter, between 6 or 9 months, I started getting closer to a fuller A and almost like a really small B. And after about a year and a half, it was the left was about a B, almost a B. I mean, not really a full B, and the right was a full A, kind of like trying a little bit more. And I was still hopeful. I mean, after about 2 years, I got to a very full B on the left side. My left boob is bigger than my right, and my right is almost a B. It fits. It's a little bit big on like A cups when I can find them. Um, but overall, that's where they stopped. So like from 2 years to 3 years now, there hasn't been any real growth. I know like the average is supposed to be like 2.5 years. Didn't really work for me, and so yeah. Uh, hmm. Ugh. So after not having any real boob growth, I started to ask questions. I mean, I can fake the cleavage with this bra. It's kind of neat. With some of my other bras, like even my not so padded bras, I could also do the cleavage. The biggest issue for me was like fullness. I pretty much have kind of like cone boobs. I don't know if that makes sense. Instead of teacups. I don't know. Teacups is what I use for reference because that's what I learned in drawing class, that boobs should look more like teacups and less like balls. um, well, maybe the whole cone shape, well, probably better to show. So, be right back. Okay. Sorry if you thought you were going to get to see actual boobs. Yep, that works. See? It's kind of like a cone. There's no real, like I can sort of fake a little bit of depth if I like lean into them, but they're kind of coney and very pointy, and not so fun. So like if I hunch over like this, it doesn't look so bad. Well, that's pretty much it. I've always kind of worn padded bras. As things progressed, Chinese padded bras happened to work out. They had really big padded bras until I got to about the size B. Well, the full size B. Their sizes didn't really work. The Victoria's Secret bra is the one I was just wearing. Um, eh, this is the bombshell bra. Super padded, very, very big, squishy. Um, and I have one other of that, and that pretty much, I kind of cycled between those two, and I wouldn't wear any of my other bras that had less padding more often than not, just because that size of padding made me feel comfortable when I looked down, when I saw myself in mirrors, and just felt good. So I guess that kind of gets to the why question. Why get a boob job? Initially, I was worried about the consideration of getting a boob job because I wasn't sure if I was going to get one for me, if I was going to get one because of the perception that as a woman you're supposed to have big boobs, and I'm not really a fan of like filling preconceived notions that aren't me. And So beyond allowing hormones to take their effects, I wanted time to figure out if I wanted boobs for me and no one else. And that's essentially what it boiled down to, was when I'd see myself in the mirror wearing the padded bra, and I liked what I saw. I mean, I got to the point where I'd occasionally put on the bra and wear like nightgowns and like t-shirt sleepwear stuff and go look in the mirror, and I was happy with that. And that at the end of the day is kind of the goal for me with transitioning, is finding my happiness. So yep, that's why I'm getting a boob job. Other things I did in terms of like my boob progression was I got my nipples pierced. They are no longer pierced, just because it's safer for the surgery. And the main point was, while my areolas grew, my nipples were still small. And I don't know, never really cared about nipples being big, small, flat, puffy, whatever on other girls I dated, but for me it bothered me having small nipples. And I had read that piercings were a good way to make your nipples grow, or rather, be fuller or bigger. And well, I also like how my boobs look, or rather my nipples look pierced. So win-win. I got bigger nipples. I'm happy about that. I'm almost always perky, so yeah, they're, oops, like there, kind of, I don't know, whatever. For my boob job, I chose to get silicone boobs. I went with that for a couple reasons. I liked how they felt, which, I mean, at the end of the day, I'm going to be grabbing my boobs more often than not, because, I don't know, I do that a lot. And the other thing was, with saline, I read a lot of issues with those who don't have a lot of fat, and even with them behind the muscles. There was wrinkles that would show up, which looked really weird, and when I saw the pictures, I was like, not a fan of that. So, to match the bra and sort of get the size and look that I want, for me it was 700 cc's, and I opted for under the muscle for placement, just because more natural feel, and actually that was the primary reason, was the fact that it was a more natural feel. I opted for incision under the boob, or rather, I guess it'll be like here, which will be where the crease is once they settle. The main reason for that has to do with I raise my arms a lot more often than I show my boobs off. So a potential scar on my armpits kind of gives everything away, and while I'm not really too secretive about the fact that I'd have breast implants, I mean, I'm not secretive about being trans, it's not necessarily something I like showing the world. I don't know if that makes sense. The other option would have been in the nipple, which the scariest thing about that is losing sensitivity in the nipples, which is, well, lots of fun, and definitely don't want to lose any sensitivity there. In terms of the surgery for me, this is going to be my first big surgery. So concern-wise, first time having anesthesia. I'm not sure what to expect. Based on videos I've seen, lots of loopiness afterwards, which will be recorded and potentially shared with the world. I don't know, it depends if it's like a funny loopy, or if I'm a mean person recovering from anesthesia effects. The other concern, which isn't too big of a deal for me because of the placement, is scarring, and if it doesn't go away, not really too big of a deal, but it's there. After all, it gives me, I mean, if I do get a scar, I guess it'll give me an excuse for another tattoo to kind of hide it or show it off in some way. The only other concern I really had was not really a big concern for me, which I don't know, maybe others factor it differently, but it's obviously with any type of surgery and whatnot, there's a concern of like death, and I don't know. I mean, there are much worse ways to die, and the notion of having died, try to pursue something that would make me happy, is kind of worth it. The after surgery thing, let's see. So after I'm done with my surgery, some of the things that I'm kind of curious about, and some of the, well, this sucks kind of things, is apparently I can't have sex for a few weeks, which, yeah, that's going to be a little bit hard considering my wife and girlfriend have really high sex drives. So do I. But yeah, yay, no, no, no sex for a few weeks. I'll live. I am really curious about whether or not the pain is going to be something that is a bad pain. I don't know if that makes sense. Like it's like a really hard to deal with pain, or if it's going to be a kind of pain that ends up feeling good. I'll leave it at that. The other thing I'm kind of a little bit worried about after the surgery is the notion of having to sleep on my back. I don't do that. I sleep on my side or my stomach, occasionally on my back a little bit, but not really a position I hold for very long. So I'm a little worried that I'm going to have to sleep on like the couch, because that's like the only place I consistently can sleep on my back. I don't know. The other thing is not being able to lift or raise my arms. I mean, I work in IT, so work-wise, not really a big deal. I'm kind of, this is pretty much my more often than not, this is where my arms sit, which is good. I'm typing away or picking up a phone or helping someone. For me, the biggest issue is the fact that I can't carry anything heavy and I can't lift my arms very high, which means I can't pick up my kids for a little while. And that sucks, because well, I think I enjoy it just as much as they do, and I get to pick them up and play with them that way. The other issue is limiting my ability to cook. That part kind of sucks, because I like cooking. I like cooking for the kids, and I like cooking for my wife and girlfriend, so yeah. The other thing that'll be kind of interesting is, since I've always worn padded bras, I'm not sure how I'm going to feel about sports bras. Because I'm apparently supposed to wear sports bras while the boobs start to settle back down, and the muscle stops thinking there's this crazy, well, I mean, I guess trick the muscles into thinking that they're the thing that they now feel is a part of the body and not this crazy thing they need to reject and freak out over. The other thing, not really a big deal. I mean, I'm already wearing padded bras and whatnot with underwires and such, but the whole notion of like after surgery and after boobs are all healed up and ready to go, I have to wear bras that support them. Not that bad. But, I don't want droopy boobies. So, yeah. This video hopefully will be going up the night before my surgery. If not, I may have already had the surgery by the time this gets posted. In any case, thank you for watching. If you have any questions, please leave a comment below. If you have anything else to say. Yeah. Alright, bye.